Hi everyone, thank you for joining our math parent night. We're going to go ahead and get started. Tonight I'm going to be showing you how to solve a multi-step problem with strategies that we do in class. So the first thing we're going to do is talk about our problem solving strategies. So our first one is to understand. So with understand, we want to make sure that we read the problem, we can visualize, which is like make a picture in our head of what's happening in our problem, and also think about what is going on in this problem. For my plan, that's when I'm going to choose a strategy. So am I going to decompose? Am I going to use a number line or a table? Or how am I going to solve this problem? The next part is do, which is just following through with your plan and solving that problem. And then finally, we're going to check our answer. So that's what we're going to be working through tonight. This first part, my problem says Sam and Abdul were playing basketball. Sam scored 15 points and Abdul scored 6 more points than Sam. How many points did the boys score all together? So when we're in our problem solving strategy of understanding, we want to read and think about the problem. So I'm also going to think, what do we know and what are we trying to figure out? So the first thing I'm going to start with, and I'll underline it here for us, is what do I already know in this problem? So I already know that Sam scored 15 points. I also know that Abdul scored 6 more points than Sam. And last, I'm trying to figure out how many points did the boys score all together. So that is what I'm trying to figure out. So now thinking about my problem, I know that this is going to be a multi-step problem. I know this because it says that Abdul scored 6 more points than Sam. So first I need to figure out how many points Abdul scored. Then my question is asking, how many did they score all together? So after I figure out what Abdul scored, then I can figure out how many they scored all together. So now what I'm going to do is show you some strategies that we work on in class to solve a problem like this. And the first one I'm going to do is decomposing. So I'm actually going to pull it up this way so that we can see a little easier. Okay, so as I figured out in my plan, I'm going to first add my 15 points and my 6 points together. This will give me what Abdul scored. So I'm going to do 15 plus 6 equals something. My first strategy I'm going to show you is decomposing. Let me zoom in a little bit. Okay, so to decompose, I'm going to break my number apart so that it's easier for me to add. And I'm going to break this into 5 and 1. And I broke it into 5 and 1 because I know 15 plus 5 will give me a friendly number of 20. So now I added my 5. Next, I need to add my 1 to my 20, which I know equals 21. Okay? If we look at our answer choices here, we can see that 21 is listed by C, but C is not my answer. 21 is the answer for what Abdul scored, but remember we talked about that we want how many the boys scored all together. So C is a trick, and we talked about that in class, that sometimes with our multiple choice there could be a trick on there. So C is not my answer. I'm going to cross it out. So to figure out how many the boys scored all together, I'm going to take my 21 and my 15 that Sam and Abdul scored, and I'm going to add them together to figure out how many they scored all together. And again, I'm going to decompose. And I'm going to decompose my 15 because that's less for me to add if I keep my bigger number the same. So I'm going to keep 21 the same, and I know that I can add 21 plus 10 to give me 31. Now I need to add 5 more to my 31, and 31 plus 5 equals 36. And 36 is my answer choice A, which would be my answer. So that's the strategy of decomposing. So now I'm going to show you the same problem again, but with a different strategy of using a number line to solve. So a number line and decomposing are our main strategies that we focus on in 3rd grade. Again, I'm going to follow those same steps. So I'm going to first start with my 15 plus 6 equals something. But this time I'm going to put it on a number line. So I'm going to draw my number line, put 15. And I can either jump 1 6 times, or I'm going to jump a 5 because I know that 15 plus 5 is 20. And then I know I have to jump 1 more to make my 6, which would give me 21. So again, my 21 is what Abdul scored, not what the boys scored altogether. So next, just like last time, I need to take my 21 plus my 15 to figure out how many they scored altogether. And again, I'm going to use the number line. So I'm going to start on my number line with 21, since that's my bigger number. And my 15, I'm going to jump a 10, because I know 21 plus 10 equals 31. And then I could jump a whole 5 from the rest of my 15, or I can count by ones. So I'm going to go by ones. 2, 3, 4, 5. These are all plus 1. And then when I count up, I would get 36 as my answer. So as you can see, A, 36 is my answer. And either strategy, using a number line or using decomposing, will get you the same answer of 36. So like I said, these are the strategies that we focus on in class and what we like to see on homework that we send home also. So thank you for joining, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your evening.